Got another 4060 hit the bench today, 2004. Came in with no reverse. You can tell it's an 04 by the first digit of this sticker here. So we're going to take this apart and see how bad it is. Come a little closer if you need to. Start with the Bellhausen T50 Torx Plus. Get my 13s out of my pump while I'm here, but we won't pull it out yet. We'll break the filter and the lockup solenoid. Just like to put my bolts this side. And I've already sprayed this with some penetrating oil. It's got clips you can push in here on the side and you just push it straight down. That's what I like to do. You can spray some in here too. So a lot of times this ring can get stuck, kind of whack on it a little bit. Screwdriver. I get in behind here. Like that right here. Walk it out. Get in behind it. Set that right there. Regular servo. Probably upgrade this to a Corvette servo. Take the range sensor off. Pull this off over there. You can take this bracket off too if you want to. I'm going to leave it on for now. Usually I leave it on. She's pretty dark. I've seen them a lot worse though. That. Be careful. A lot of times if you open this too quick, it'll get all over your lap. Yeah. Not too bad. I've seen a lot worse. These 406s. Filters nice and heavy. Got drain. While I get it on. So if I take one clip off, PWM solenoid, you want to take this out first so you can take your lockup solenoid out in the pump so you don't break it. Just like that, and go and plug all your solenoids. Manifold pressure switch, shift solenoids. EPC, it's a late model EPC. Get out of the way there. I'm going to take my valve body off. 2-3 shift accumulator body. Yeah, we always do a Transgo kit on these, Transgo shift kit, and we always throw these plastic accumulators away in the trash. This one has no legs on it, so we'll go with a no leg aluminum piston back in there, and we'll throw these springs away too, but we'll clean everything up and then we'll follow the procedure on the kit. So I got all my tins out, group them. Group all my tins there. Now I'll get my 8. And if you're going to reuse this manifold pressure switch, if you just pull it straight out, you're going to ruin the pressure switches. So what I like to do is kind of twist a little bit. Can you see that? I'm twisting a little bit like that. And then you can, because otherwise you'll ruin the rubber on these pressure switches. I always replace these. I always throw these away. So shops I used to work at, they used to make us reuse them, and so that's not how we do it here. And always remember, you know, these are 3 8mm bolts, and they always go in this position. They're a little longer. Okay, if you put them anywhere else, you could actually have bind up, you know, on the reverse drum. So you don't want to, look, compared to a regular bolt in the valve body, you can tell that the 8mm are a little longer, like a 1/4 inch. So be careful there. There's going to be 7 check balls that fall out of here, and there's 1 check ball in the case under the separator plate. Sometimes one gets stuck here, this one here, so just count 7. Pull this out one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Found 4 so far. 7. There we go. So they're all there. Just gonna kind of drain this a little bit, bleed it out. That way. Little bit of wear on the separator plate here. Not too bad. Get off there. This is where the one goes in the case every time. So a total of 8. Yeah. Take this out. And a lot of times you can take this out, stick it kind of halfway in there, wiggle it out. Sometimes you can have luck, get it out like that. Too bad. But yeah, we also replaced this one. As you can see, this one has legs. So what we do is the Transgo shift kit comes with, I think it's a yellow spring. Put it in there and we put it in backwards. Sometimes we can double it up. We used to double it up by putting another one in here, but I always have been doing the Transgo kit, and it doesn't give it too bad of a 1-2 harsh shift. So let's see here. Sometimes we can get lucky and get this out. Oh, look at that. This is a band strap. Just makes it a little easier to pull the band out of there, pull the forward drum out. So So that's everything in there. Hit this out just a little bit more. So sometimes I can get lucky by pulling the pump out this way without hitting the case. Don't want to hit the case at all. I was just putting pressure on the reverse drum and the pump itself. Okay. So always check for wear, check your bushings. Not too bad. A little bit of wear in here, which we do a bushing kit on every one of these, so we'll be replacing that. As far as our reverse drum, you can see how dark it is. We see this a lot. It really looks like a smooth drum though. I don't feel any pitting, and I'll put a straight edge on it once it's all cleaned up to make sure that the inside part isn't warped, because a lot of times this band here will get hot, start to wear out, and it really puts a lot of wear here, which it looks dark, it just looks kind of old. It's not burnt up, but I think we'll be able to clean this drum up and reuse it with new bushings. Let's see here. As the clutches go, you can still see the writing on them. Factory writing, BorgWarner. These clutches are good, but of course they're getting replaced. And we'll decompress that on the bench there. Here are our load springs. Always check your load springs to see if this metal pieces are broken. I always replace these. I hardly ever reuse them. Yeah. 3/4 clutches. I got a little hot. Yeah. Which we're going with the Z-Pack in this thing anyway. We're not going to reuse any of these. We always replace the bonded pistons in the forward drum. All right. There we go. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Getting one side up and then you can pull. See that? And if you've never done this one before, I always kind of like to get it like this. Flip it over. So, that way they're all stacked the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, starting to eat a little bit of the friction material there. Not burnt up, but definitely had some wear on it. Yeah, another thing you want to check is your forward sprag. It's feeling like it's pretty tight right now, but again, I always replace this. Always want to check for wear on the race. Here. This one looks smooth, this one looks real good. Of course, this part here, this race. Oh yeah. Oh, this looks real good. Check for lines, and you can check for pitting here. You can be able to put a new sprag in here. Perfect. Get my tool for the tool. Carried it to it. And again, in this forward drum, you know, we'll compress it here in a second, but all the bonded pistons in there get replaced. And on our 700s, when there's aluminum pistons in there, we delete those and we put bonded pistons in there along with this 4060 retainer. And a number 7 stamp drum with a Z-Pack. Sometimes just come right out. Snap ring here. Got 5 pinion planets in it. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of times when that sticker has a K on it, it's supposed to be a 4065. I mean, I've seen them, you know, without 5 pinion planets, so I don't really go by that. Always check for back and forth wear, play, and any wear in the teeth. This looks like a good planet there. Washer type, and always check for wear in this forward hub. Can you see right here? Not a lot of wear. Look inside here. Can you see in there? You can see how there's a little play in there. Yeah, compared to others, this really doesn't have too much wear on it, on this forward hub here. Kind of hard to see when it's not cleaned up, but again, we replace this anyways. I mean, we want this, all the splines as tight as possible on these 406s when we're done with it. And this ring gear, you know, always check for, you know, missing teeth, wear. But this one looks good. I mean, we'll clean it all up and make sure. Try to keep the snap ring together there. Yep. So this is why it didn't have reverse. It probably didn't have second either. These splines are stripped right here. So yeah. All the splines inside this reaction shell are just completely stripped. Yeah, that's definitely why he didn't have reverse. Go with the good hardened one, maybe the Beast. See what we have. Can you see in there what I'm doing? Taking the snap ring off, start one side, work your way around it. A lot of times what you can do at this point, all over right here, take you a hammer. Just like that. Again, another 5 pinion planet. And another thing, we always do a bushing kit. We always replace all of the bushings and the bearings. Bushing and bearing kit. I'm checking for wobble on these gears here. These are nice and tight. Oh yeah. This is a good planet kit right here. Check our low reverse clutches. A little warm. They're not burnt, but until they get a little warm. Let's check our low sprag. Another thing I like to replace is this sprag. On every transmission I work on, I replace the sprags. And again, this race I check for lines, any kind of wear. So we'll clean this up and inspect that. So those are all the hard parts, most of the hard parts that are out of this unit. Yeah. Always check the back and forth play. Okay, when you got a lot of slop right here, you want to, either get a rotor kit or maybe replace the pump half. This one here, not too bad. We're still going to go with a rotor kit with the pump slide. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I don't feel any. You can see lines in there, but I don't feel any kind of grooves or nothing. Yeah, and the same with this pump here on the stator half. Yeah, and we always change our boost valve, and with the Transgo kit it comes with different springs in here for the pressure regulator. Never forget to replace this screen here, pump screen, with the O-ring. If you leave that out, you're gonna have pump failure in no time. Manual valve. And so, one of the main reasons we like to do a Transgo shift kit, on a stock 4060 for a customer is the lockup valve. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to address this. Okay, a lot of shops will go with the Sonex setup, where you ream this out and you put a Sonex valve kit in here. I personally don't like doing that. Or you can put a stiffer spring in between these two valves to where it's constantly on-off lockup. That's a better way to do it. I'd rather do that than the Sonex version. But I've had extremely good luck with the Transgo valve, the Transgo lockup valve and spring. So, see the setup we got in here. Yeah, it's just a stock setup here. Yeah. So this is a 2004 4060. This is the PWM valve that is set up in the factory. And we take this and we throw this in the trash. We reuse this in the clip, and we go with a Transgo setup. Okay, it's its own custom valve and spring. Okay, and it gets rid of the 1811 codes, the lockup shutters. Prevents comebacks. This is a really good update. It's cheap. I think it's 50 or 60 bucks for a Transgo kit, and it comes with a lot of goodies. So, and that's one of them. Get that over here. Of course, we disassemble. We throw away all our solenoids, all new electronics. So yeah, a lot of stuff. That pretty much sums it up. So we'll get all this thing cleaned up, and we'll probably do a video on us putting this one back together with the Z-Pack and other goodies. New beast reaction shell, forward hub, all new electronics. Car pack hand gasket, and anything else we see after we clean it up. So, all right, now we got this one gutted. We're gonna wash these parts up. Now we're gonna take this apart. Forward drum here. This up a little bit. We got a foot compressor we use too. I just like this one because you can walk away from it and foot doesn't have to be on it. There we go. From here, I like to take my spring here, go ahead, stick it through like that so you don't, get mixed up or anything. Again, these bonded pistons, they do shrink. I don't like to reuse the bonded pistons. I buy a piston kit every time. They're affordable for this unit. Always go with the piston kit on a 4-drum. And if you're going to go with the Z-Pack, you got to make sure there's a number 7 stamp on this. Check for wear. And again, pull on this input shaft, make sure it's not loose. A lot of times this will get loose in there and it'll cause the forward clutches to burn up. And again, there's an O-ring in here. Make sure you don't forget to replace. Can you see? Come closer. See this O-ring in here? It sits in there. Yeah, don't forget that.